Good morning to you, healthy foodie. Wherever in the world you are, I hope you are eating healthy today. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Podcast dedicated to one thing: to learn and apply to eat better daily, or do something that makes you eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal health and wellness coach, your personal diet detective, food inspector, and just someone with a lot of passion and obsession for healthy food, healthy eating, diet, nutrition, fat loss, changing our physique, feeling the best, looking the best, performing the best on all levels. Today, guys, we are doing our episode number 2 on fat loss. Yesterday we talked about nutrition, about hunger management, and how important it is in changing your nutrition habits so you could too lose all the fat you want to lose, all the weight you want to lose, and look the exact way that you want to look. We also talked about calories and portion measurements. And today, as I promised, we will talk about exercise for fat loss. Even though for someone like me who is always, in this fitness diet world, it seems like it's obvious at this moment what to do as exercise for fat loss. But I realized that people who do not spend that much time on research and reading in that field, that it's still very much unclear. And, you go to a trainer and very often still he or she would tell you that, you need to do cardio to burn that fat, or you need to do I often see in the gym, still blows my mind how trainers a lot of guy trainers make female clients do all these countless repetitions of half a pound or pound dumbbells, doing different kind of exercises. And I'm always wonder and those clients usually all look the same kind of average, because that's not how you lose fat or change your body in any way. So anyway, but today also actually I wanted to add something to yesterday's episode about the food environment and how important it is to design the environment around you to maintain your healthy eating habits that will of course lead to losing weight or losing fat more than anything. So people actually study whether humans eat more when there is food around. This is from Washington Post article from today on weight loss. The eating behavior of those with higher relative weight is susceptible to the presence of palatable foods in the environment. Basically, people whose weight is more relatively to other people usually tend to eat more, and usually they have more food in their environment. One of the experiments involved 40 office secretaries. So the secretaries each of them had 40 of them had candy jar. When the jar was transparent and within arm's reach, the secretaries ate an average of just under 8 candies a day, 8 candies a day. When the jar was opaque and 6 feet away compared to transparent and right at your arm's reach, the consumption dropped to about 3. That's 60% reduction just by rejiggering the bar. So basically, guys, you need to, if you want to stick with any kind of eating behavior, don't rely on your willpower, because that's going to betray you at if not at the first, then at second opportunity. Design your environment accordingly. For example, in my case, I never work in the kitchen, and where I work on my computer, where I do my writing and everything, the only things like food related I have my bottle of water, my coffee cup, and my tea cup, and that's it. That's all I have. And I never go to the kitchen unless I actually plan to eat. And I would not recommend you, especially if you're trying to lose fat or lose weight, to work in the kitchen or work in a coffee shop. People who work in a coffee shops a lot, they tend to eat a lot of, donuts and cookies and all that stuff, and drink more sugary coffee drinks. And if you're sitting in that environment, you're going to end up eating there. So that's why I don't really enjoy co-working space designed in coffee houses or restaurants, because you end up eating more. Unless you really know yourself and know what you're doing and your willpower is made of iron. But don't work in the eating place and don't have food around if you want to lose fat, lose weight. That's one of the things. When it comes to exercise, guys, it's actually really simple. Well, first of all, you want to understand that your exercise activity at best adds 10% of your daily calories. Most of the calories or energy your body spends on just maintaining itself, cell rejuvenation, building proteins, building different cell structures and all the maintenance stuff, work of your immune system, energy production. That's what your body does. 70% at least of that is your metabolism. Of all the energy that you consume is spent on your metabolism. Then probably another 10% or so spent on non-exercise activity, basically, when you're working, when you're like doing stuff around the house, but it's not exercise specific activity. Then they speculate another 10% of that energy is spent on digesting, assimilating nutrients from your food. So, and then 10% at best is usually spent on exercise, unless you're a professional athlete. Of course, that's a completely different story. Most of us are not professional athletes. Even if you do train like an hour a day, you're not a professional athlete. So exercise and calories, counting calories that you're burning during exercise, expecting to eat less and move more, use the strategy to lose fat. It's probably the most inefficient and ineffective strategy there is, even though most people still believe in it. So again, exercise doesn't burn a lot of calories, and usually unless you're really conscious and tracking everything you eat, you end up being hungry, you end up eating more, and your body actually ends up preserving energy and making itself burn less energy by either making you less active in other activities, or changing your body temperature, or lowering down your metabolism a little bit. So moving more and eating less doesn't work for many reasons. Your body just works against this strategy. So again, trying to burn off calories, not a great idea, right? The exercise, it does affect the fat loss, or what I like to call fuel distribution. Basically, when you eat food, your body makes the decision what to use that food for. So example, you and I might eat steak with some maybe avocado on the side, right? And we will eat the same exact amount of food, but my body might be in a metabolically completely different state from your body. Meaning, so for example, if I just finished my workout and my glycogen stores or carbohydrate stores in my muscles and in my liver are depleted, plus during that workout I really challenged my muscles with some heavy lifting, and I gave my body the signal that you need to build and maintain lean body mass because we are lifting heavy. So when I eat that steak and avocado, so all the carbs are gonna go to restore glycogen stores in my liver or in my muscles. All the proteins will probably go to rebuilding and restoring my muscle tissue so my muscles are ready for the next training session. All the fats will go to cover my energy expenses for workout, but also to help my body to recover from my workout for the next workout. Whereas if you never do any exercise, if your glycogen stores in your liver and in your muscles are full, and again, you don't lift heavy or anything, a lot of that food might go into plain fat storage. If your glycogen stores are full in your muscles and in your liver, and if you don't exercise, they usually are, and if you don't restrict your carbohydrates, especially. So your carbohydrates, again, if you have enough energy, if you don't do, any fasting or, if your stores of energy are full, if you don't exercise, even part of that protein and that fat, a lot of it can be put by your body in your storage because you don't exercise, you don't give that signal to your body that it needs to adapt to certain physical stressors and lean and build and retain muscle mass. And yeah, you end up putting on more fat, possibly from the same kinds of foods that we just ate together. And that's what, guys, exercise is for, to give your body the signal, to tell it what to do with the fuel that you consume every meal, every day. So lift heavy to give your body that signal that you need your lean body mass, you need your muscles, and you lift heavy, and your body need to get better at recovering, and your body need to get better at rebuilding your muscle tissue, and your body need to restore your glycogen stores, basically turning carbohydrates not into fat but into glycogen that your body will later use for your workouts and for for other daily activities. So what to do? What to do in the gym based on that? You need to lift heavy. If there is one workout, if you have a choice what to do in the gym, cardio or weights, always choose weights, and not just some light weights to carry them around, but actual weight that is heavy for you to lift more than, let's say, 10 times. So when you squat with the weight that you can comfortably, not comfortably actually, but by the end of the last rep, it should be uncomfortable and really heavy and almost impossible to lift that weight. So around 10 times, 8 to 12 times. Then for your arms, for your back, for your chest, all the bigger muscle groups, your shoulders. It can be short, but you gotta lift heavy. So I would rather you do one set of really heavy lifting, or by lifting I mean squatting or lifting weight in any way, especially bigger muscle groups like your back, like your chest press, like pull-ups, shoulder press, dumbbell or barbells. So I would rather you do one set of heavy lifting than 3-5 sets of 20-30 times, lifting whatever it is weight you can lift for 20-30 times. Completely different result. And of course, I would rather you lift every day than do any amount of cardio. Actually, you don't need to do any cardio. What you need to do is lift heavy, recover properly, and then as a form of cardio, or mostly to train your cardiovascular system, and also to improve your insulin sensitivity and to decrease your hunger. That also proven by studies. Do some high intensity interval training, like maybe sprints on a treadmill or outside if you can, some stair sprints or some jumping rope, something high intensity that you can do for 30 seconds to a minute. So go all out effort, do all out effort, and then stop and then do all out effort again. So do that 3-5 times. Sometimes I just do it 3 times. It's super short, high intensity cardio. Sometimes I do 10 times, 10 sprints, 30 seconds with 30 seconds rest or 1 minute rest, depending on how intense I go on the sprint. So what you want to do to lose fat is to give your body the right signals, and the right signals to preserve your lean body mass and use fat for fuel is lifting heavy, and doing some sprints will also accelerate your progress, changing the way you eat and changing your metabolism. What I wouldn't do is doing long cardio, steady pace, unless it's walking. Being active, walk a lot, it's always amazing exercise and it helps your body to burn more fat. But walking is more over like just being active. So you need to be active to burn as much fat as possible to make sure that your metabolism is at its highest potential. All the rest, guys, calories and stuff, you gotta be really great in the kitchen if you want to see really great fat loss results. You gotta train heavy, you gotta train hard to give your body the appropriate signals to preserve and build lean body mass versus fat. And then in the kitchen, you need to make sure that your meal plan is built around your fitness, is built around your goals, and it can be really different for each and every individual. But of course, for everyone, like we talked yesterday, I do recommend no sugars, no processed sugars, no processed grains, and lowering your carbohydrates, and eating a lot of whole and foods, real foods, and sufficient amount of protein that a lot of people actually do not eat. And probably the last but not least is design your environment, guys, for it to make you more active person too. What do I mean by that? So, personal example, I spent quite some time in a Russian city called Sochi, and the city is quite hilly, meaning there are hills, going up and down. And what I do every time, or try to do every time I'm there, is to rent an apartment that is somewhere up on the hill. And the best scenario is when all the food shops under is lower than the house, so somewhere on the ground level, and then the apartment is on the hill. So it works twofold. First of all, every time you go out of the apartment and you go back, you do this hill work, and it makes you burn more calories without you even wanting or planning it. And then the other thing, because the food is all the way down the hill, before going and getting something to eat, you would think twice, because you have to go down the hill, and with all that food you have to go up the hill. So it makes you work more, and you will think twice. I would always think twice before going to get some food. Do I really want that food? Do I really want to go out and go back up and do kind of like workout to just get food? So I made it harder for myself, more painful to actually go out and get food. And that also goes back to designing your environment to support your goals, not having a lot of candy and ice creams everywhere around your house and sitting and eating in the kitchen, and then expecting your iron, quote unquote, willpower to do the rest of the work, helping you to diet and lose fat and weight successfully. So guys, long story short, to recap, exercise for fat loss. You want to do weightlifting. By weightlifting, I mean training with heavy weights that you can lift for different muscle groups, 8 to 12 times. Usually, for abs and stuff, you can do different kinds of workouts, and then do high intensity interval training. Usually people do sprints because it's kind of the easiest to design, and do sprints outside, sprints on the treadmill, sprints up and down the staircase. So that's the exercise you want to do for fat loss, and the rest of work you're going to do in the kitchen. And then just design your lifestyle so you are more active, walk more, try to stand up, sit down, do some work around the house, help other people. I don't know, just design your lifestyle to be as active as possible without you consciously having to decide it, and adding another workout in your day. So tomorrow, guys, we will talk about lifestyle, and especially in a lot of details, we will go and talk about sleep, because sleep, or lack of good quality sleep, and bad sleep environment can make you overeat by 300-400 calories and more if you really design poor sleep environment, and if the quality of your sleep is really not where it's supposed to be. So tune in tomorrow for sure, because it's really important. Sleep affects your hormones, and hormones will make you do anything despite all of your best intentions. And check out yesterday's episode for all you need to know about scientific fat loss, nutrition, and hunger management, and portion control. Thank you guys for tuning in. Send in your questions, what subjects you want me to cover in more detail for future episodes. Also, use the link in the show notes to schedule your own Q&A. If you have any questions about fat loss, nutrition, about ketogenic diets, about low-carb diets, about your nutritional needs, about CrossFit and low-carb diets, about again, fat loss, weight loss, or whatever it is you want to talk about, feel free to schedule that free Skype call. And till next time, guys, eat better daily.